Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Future Force, please subscribe and like my videos. Today we are going to provide a detailed and comprehensive analysis of the recent massive drone strike in Moscow, where 93 Ukrainian drones launched an unprecedented attack that sent shockwaves throughout Russia and drew the attention of the entire world. This is not just a simple event in the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. It represents a major turning point that showcases the evolution of modern warfare, the growing sophistication of unmanned aerial systems, and the vulnerabilities that even the most fortified capitals face in this new era of conflict. The scale of this attack, its coordination, and its psychological impact make it one of the most talked about incidents in the conflict so far. And today we will break it all down for you in great detail. The exterior effects of this drone strike were immediately visible. Moscow, often portrayed as one of the most secure cities with layers upon layers of advanced defense systems, witnessed a series of explosions in multiple districts during the night. Residents were woken up by the sounds of distant blasts, anti-aircraft fire, and the bright flashes of air defense missiles intercepting incoming drones. Tracer rounds lit up the sky as Russia's defensive systems scrambled to respond. Smoke plumes rose over office towers, some glass facades were shattered, and fires erupted in certain industrial zones. The immediate impression was one of chaos and vulnerability. Despite Moscow's extensive use of S-400 and Pantsir-S-1 air defense systems, some drones managed to slip through, striking at symbolic and strategic sites, including parts of the Moscow city towers and communication infrastructure. Transportation networks were briefly disrupted, airspace restrictions were enforced, and a sense of unease spread across the capital. Inside the operation, the details reveal a highly sophisticated and meticulously planned mission. Ukrainian forces appear to have deployed a variety of drones, some capable of long-range flights of hundreds of kilometers, while others were designed for low-altitude stealth approaches to evade radar detection. The attack used swarm tactics, launching dozens of drones simultaneously to overwhelm Russian defenses. This is a critical point. Traditional air defense systems are designed to track and engage a limited number of targets at once, but when nearly 100 drones are coming in from multiple directions, the system becomes saturated, forcing operators to prioritize which ones to shoot down. This level of coordination implies that Ukraine had access to real-time intelligence, advanced planning, and possibly satellite support to synchronize the timing and flight paths of these drones. The strike hit not only military-related sites, but also sent a political message by targeting areas symbolic of Russian state power and economic strength. The deeper interior of this event reveals its psychological dimension. For a city like Moscow, which is presented domestically as a fortress city far removed from frontline dangers, this strike shatters that illusion. Citizens recorded videos of drones buzzing overhead, explosions echoing across major boulevards, and emergency vehicles rushing through the streets. Social media platforms were flooded with footage of fireballs lighting up the skyline. People took shelter in basements and metro stations, and there was a palpable sense of fear and uncertainty. For Ukraine, this was as much a psychological operation as a military one, to demonstrate reach, resilience, and the ability to disrupt the daily life of its adversary's most powerful city. It sends a message not just to the Russian government, but to the Russian people, that the war is closer to home than they might have believed. The performance of the drones in this operation highlights the rapid evolution of unmanned warfare. Many of the drones were likely produced domestically in Ukraine or modified from commercially available models to carry explosive payloads. Some may have had ranges exceeding 700 kilometers, equipped with GPS guidance, terrain following capabilities, and in some cases, possible satellite uplink for mid-flight adjustments. Their payloads were not massive like traditional cruise missiles, but they were sufficient to cause fires, disable electrical substations, damage windows, and trigger alarms across critical infrastructure. The fact that 93 drones were deployed indicates not just capacity, but also confidence in the ability to coordinate them effectively. Swarm tactics are increasingly becoming a cornerstone of modern conflict because they can overwhelm defenses at a fraction of the cost of traditional weapons. The safety features and defensive measures taken by Russia were put under immense stress. Air defense systems like the Panther-1 fired multiple salvos, and several drones were indeed intercepted before they could reach their targets. However, this strike exposed gaps. Drones are small, agile, and often made with materials that minimize radar reflection, making them hard to detect until they are close. Electronic warfare units tried to jam signals, but some drones were likely programmed with autonomous navigation that allowed them to continue their mission even when jammed. Emergency services were deployed rapidly to contain fires, evacuate civilians from damaged areas, and secure debris for analysis. The Russian Ministry of Defense claimed that the majority of drones were destroyed, but independent evidence suggests that several key sites were hit, forcing temporary shutdowns of transport lines and government offices. The unique selling points of this operation were its scale, timing, and precision. Unlike previous small-scale incursions, this was a massive, coordinated offensive deep inside Russian territory. It demonstrated that Ukraine can launch strategic strikes far from the front lines, forcing Russia to divert resources to protect its capital. It also showed the flexibility of drone warfare, low-cost, easily deployable, and capable of bypassing traditional defense lines. Politically, it undermines the Kremlin's narrative of security and invincibility. Militarily, it complicates Russia's war strategy by opening a new dimension of long-range vulnerability. The cost of this operation, while difficult to quantify exactly, is believed to be relatively low compared to the disruption it caused. Drones, even advanced ones, are significantly cheaper than cruise missiles or manned aircraft. Launching 93 drones might cost a few $1,000,000 at most, whereas the damage inflicted on Moscow's infrastructure, the cost of intercepting missiles, the diversion of air defense assets, and the psychological cost on the population could easily run into the tens or hundreds of millions. For Ukraine, this is an asymmetric warfare success, inflicting maximum disruption for minimal expense. In terms of broader impact, this strike will likely lead to a major shift in defense strategies, not just in Russia, but globally. Nations are watching how easily drones can bypass traditional defenses and hit high-altitude urban targets. We can expect a surge in investment in counter-drone technologies, laser-based systems, advanced jamming, and improved early warning radars. It will also push militaries to rethink their concepts of deterrence. If drones can threaten capitals hundreds of kilometers away, then no city is truly out of reach anymore. The strike also carries geopolitical implications. It signals to Western allies that Ukraine is willing to escalate technologically and operationally to put pressure on Russia. It may prompt Russia to retaliate more aggressively, either through missile strikes or cyber warfare. It might also influence peace talks, hardening positions on both sides. For civilians, it underscores the unpredictable and expanding nature of this conflict, where traditional front lines are blurred and the war can suddenly manifest in urban centers far from the battle zones. In conclusion, the 93 drone strike on Moscow is more than just a military incident. It is a symbol of how warfare is changing. It shows how innovation, determination, and relatively low-cost technology can challenge even the most fortified nations. It sends a message that in modern conflict, distance is no longer a barrier, and conventional defense systems are being tested like never before. For Ukraine, it is a moment of strategic success and psychological leverage. For Russia, it is a moment of reckoning that its capital is not untouchable. For the world, it is a warning that the future of war will not be fought solely with tanks and fighter jets, but with swarms of small, intelligent machines capable of reshaping the balance of power from hundreds of kilometers away. This attack will likely go down in history as one of the most daring and transformative operations of the conflict, and its lessons will be studied by militaries, analysts, and policymakers for years to come.